What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Swanky Disc Golf. Today, we're going to be counting down the top 5 putters for disc golf beginners. In my opinion, these are the top 5 putters in the world, but we have a very special criteria of ranking them for beginners. So stick around to see what's number 1, to see which disc might just change your game. But go ahead and make sure you're subbed. We're almost at 4,000 subs, guys. We would greatly appreciate it. And let's jump into it. Alright guys, so these 5 putters are what we believe to be the top 5 putters in the world, regardless of your skill or ability, but we are ranking them from number 5 down to number 1 based on this special criteria for disc golf beginners. This is a very scientific criteria, and it's starting with 3 metrics. The first one is going to be availability. Each one of these metrics is going to be a 10-point scale. So 10 points for availability. Now the reason we're throwing this in there is because in our past videos, top 5 distance drivers, top 5 mid-ranges, you guys can go check those out after this. You guys were saying, yeah, those discs are great, but I can't find them anywhere. So availability is the first one. Second, affordability, because none of us want to take up a second job to be able to afford the putters we buy. So yeah, affordability is the second metric, and the third metric is versatility. Is this a good putter? Does it putt? Does it throw? Does it hyzer putt? Does it anhyzer putt? Can you do anything with it? The putters on this list can do virtually anything, and they're great for any style of putter, especially for beginners who are trying to figure out their putting style, because everybody does putt a little bit different with a few basic steps kind of involved, but everybody putts a little bit different. So we're starting out with a very controversial number 5 already. We're putting the Discraft Luna at number 5. Now I know what you're thinking.
Luke, the Luna is the greatest thing made of plastic to touch God's green earth.
And you're right. I personally think that the Luna, and a lot of you think that the Luna is the number 1 putter in the world. We posted a poll for you guys, and out of over 1,000 votes, the Luna was number 1 for a while. It's 1% behind the Innova Aviar, which is more popular internationally, and that might have something to do with it. But a lot of you guys think it's the number 1 putter in the world too, so why is it number 5 on our list? The Luna, especially with Paul McBeth's name on them, comes out about 5 or 6 times a year, and they last about 5 or 6 minutes on the Discraft website. But you can have a little bit more luck with them on the bigger retail sites sometimes. But even right now, if you were to try and find a Paul McBeth Luna, you might be able to find one, but it's going to be very, very difficult. I will say the reason it's a 2 out of 10 and not a 1 out of 10 is because you actually can get a Luna on the Discraft website right now. They've had them in stock for a while. It just so happens to be the Star Wars Baby Yoda version of the Luna. But compared to every other putter on this list, and pretty much every other putter on the planet, they are very, very difficult to find, and that is why it is a 2 out of 10 for availability. Which brings us to affordability. And as you can see, that Baby Yoda Luna is gonna run you $25, and that's partially because it has Star Wars on it. But even your base plastic Discraft Paul McBeth Luna is gonna run you at least $20. If it's a tour series, it's gonna be $25. And that is if you can get them when they first come out. So yeah, a fat 1 out of 10 for affordability, and you might be saying 1 out of 10 is pretty harsh, but you have to think this is just comparing this putter to all the other putters out there, and it is the most expensive putter. Versatility, 10 out of 10. There's no question that this is the best performing putter on the market. The flight numbers for it are 3303, a stability of 1 on the Discraft scale. It was co-designed with Paul McBeth to be the best putter out there, and it's hard to argue with one of the best players in the world who has used it for countless clutch putts, tournament winners. And as far as being for beginners, no matter what line you put this on, it's going to hold that line. It might fade out of anhyzer putts here and there, but that's kind of what you want. It's good for any style of putting, any style of throwing. You can throw it on forehand, backhand. Great for hyzer flipping to flat, and it has insane glide. These things go forever. So a 13 out of 10 for the Discraft Luna, which I know you guys might be disappointed about. If you're disappointed about it, let me know in the comments. So moving on from the Luna, that brings us to number 4 on the list, which is the Discmania P2. And this is also slightly controversial because the P2 is an extremely popular putter. So availability for the P2, we're giving it a 2 out of 10. At least just today when I'm filming this, I could not find a P2 anywhere. I could not buy one if I tried. maybe on eBay for a secondary market kind of price, which wouldn't be, you know, as crazy as something like the Luna. But yeah, they're sold out on Discmania store, they're sold out on Infinite Discs, and you can't even find them on OTB right now. Affordability, we're actually giving it an 8 out of 10 because they're really not very expensive discs. The reason it's not higher, like a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 though, is because, like I said, if you were to try and buy one right now, you'd probably have to pay a decent amount of money for it. But when they are on the market, I believe they run $10 to $12. And that brings us to versatility, guys, which is the name of the game with the P2. The P2 is an incredible putter. Simon Lizotte putts with these. This is a kind of putter that if you just throw straight at the basket, it's gonna go in. If you put it on Anheuser or Heiser, it's gonna hold that line. And as far as being able to throw, some of you might be familiar with the shot where Simon Lizotte at Waco throws the P2 like 400 feet over water in the wind and parks the hole. You can definitely throw this putter, as proven by other people. I've seen Ezra Adderhold throw this between, he has a video where he throws this between 2 field goal posts from like one end of the field to the other. You can really get a hold of these P2s and they glide for days. They're incredible putters. The flight number is 2302. So if you beginners are out there and you're looking for a good non-beaded putter that's not gonna break the bank, if you can find one of these, they are incredible. Yeah, we're giving it a 10 out of 10 for versatility, which gives it an overall score of 20 out of 30, which is not bad, especially compared to the Luna. Number 3 on the list is going to be the Prodigy Pa-3. Some of you might not know as much about the Prodigy Pa-3, but it is the most popular Prodigy putter out there. If you guys have seen a professional sponsored by Prodigy, they're probably putting with Pa-3s. I know Kevin Jones does. So let's go ahead and get right into availability. We're giving it a 8 out of 10. This is actually a fairly easy putter to find. While if you go to their website, they only have 2 styles of Pa-3s available. One of them actually only has, as I'm reading this, 6 of them left in blue, yellow, or pink. But if you guys go to any of the big retailers like Infinite Discs or OTB Discs, Infinite Disc, for example, has like hundreds of them available right now. I'm sure OTB has them available too. They're really easy to find. Affordability, we're actually giving this a 7 out of 10. While it's not like the Luna, it is actually a kind of expensive putter, which I was surprised at. I was unaware. On the Prodigy, like home manufacturer website, they run $16 to $17, which is a lot of money for a putter, as you're gonna see when we get down this list. And on Infinite Discs, I found a little bit better of a deal. They were $14, $15. You get a picture of the disc. They have tons of them available. So paying $14, $15 for a putter is still a lot. But compared to other putters like the Luna, it's a fairly affordable putter. Moving on to versatility. Guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, this is a freaking really good putter. We're giving it an 8 out of 10 for versatility. It's pretty much every disc on this list is a very neutral flying putter. Some people like them to be a little bit more overstable or a little bit more understable. But this is a very neutral disc. It throws pretty well. It definitely doesn't throw as good as the Luna or anything like that, but you can throw these things, put them on Heiser, they'll flip up a little bit, and they putt really steady. You can see he's putting Heiser. He's Heiser putting at the basket, but he's throwing it straight at the basket. And that's the comfort zone for a lot of beginners, and I mean a lot of people in general. They're a great putter for any beginner, especially if you're looking out to try a beaded putter for the first time. So yeah, that's gonna be debatably for our number 3, a 23 out of 30. So number 2 on our list is the Dynamic Discs Judge. Now we actually did not even include this one in our poll, but you guys commented Classic Blend Judge so much in the comments below, we couldn't ignore it, and we do recognize that Dynamic Discs is one of the best companies for beginners to go to. They have so many resources for people who are just starting out in disc golf and for intermediate players, and of course they have great discs for professionals as well. Let's go ahead and start out with availability. We are giving it a 9 out of 10 for availability. You can find this disc all over the place. If you go to the home manufacturer Dynamic Disc website, the Judge is all over the place. If you go to the Infinite Discs or OTB, any of the big retailers, they have a huge selection of Dynamic Disc Judge in different plastics. So moving on to affordability, we are giving the Judge another 9 out of 10. This thing is dirt cheap. It's almost the cheapest disc on this list. You can go to Infinite Discs or OTB right now and get a Judge for $8, $8 to $9. Their Dynamic Discs does a great job at catering to beginners, bringing prices down and keeping their discs in stock. They do a great job. So affordability, availability, both 9 out of 10. Now moving on to versatility, we're giving it an 8 out of 10. It will putt on whatever kind of line you want to throw. I say it dumps out, at least maybe it's because of this plastic. The plastics of these discs will affect the flight a little bit. But it will dump out and have a little less glide, I'd say, than especially the Luna, but maybe the Pa-3 as well. It throws really well, though. I love the way it throws. That's why it's up there with the 8 out of 10. It throws amazing. You can throw it on Anheuser. You can throw it on a forehand. So yeah, for number 2 on the list, Dynamic Disc Judge, a 26 out of 30. Definitely would recommend it for you guys to go pick it up, especially if you're looking for a cheaper beaded putter than the Pa-3. Go grab you one. You guys probably have seen this coming, because if this disc didn't make the list at all, our channel would probably be protested and burned to the ground. Number 1 on the list is, of course, the Innova Aviar. There's not much I even need to say about this disc. Availability, 10 out of 10. You cannot avoid seeing these putters if you tried. These putters are literally everywhere. You can find them at Walmart in starter packs. Obviously, you can find them on the Innova site, plastered everywhere on OTB, Infinite Discs, any major retailer, any small retailer, any pro shop is probably going to be carrying Innova Aviars. They are everywhere, so easy to find. Believe it or not, most people who play disc golf are beginners or intermediate players who love just the base plastic Aviar, where you can get this thing for $6 or $7. Innova is famous, and we make fun of them for it sometimes, but for selling discs at the just rock bottom price of $7.50, and we love it. Versatility. You guys are probably going to be mad at me for this. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if you are, but I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 for versatility, because honestly, the Aviar as a mold is an incredible mold. You can get premium plastic Aviars that throw really well and that are very versatile, but this base plastic that I got out of a starter pack, which is what a lot of people are throwing, this thing feels like throwing a dog toy. This isn't a throwing putters list, that's why I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 still. This disc comes in at a whopping 146 grams. It feels extremely understable, and I know you guys are saying there's so many different Aviars out there, and that's why it's number 1 on the list, is because, like I said, you can find them anywhere, and you can find them in the plastic that you like, and you can afford to buy them in the plastic that you like. But yeah, the base plastic Aviar is going to be a great first putter, because especially most people are going to pick it up and they're going to either hyzer putt or just try and throw it straight at the basket, and this will do that for you. But that's it, guys. That is the top 5 putters for disc golf beginners, and like I said, I do believe that these are just the top 5 putters in the world, but that is the list ranked for beginners and for intermediate players. Let us know what you guys think of the list. Let us know what you would change, what you would put up there, maybe some honorable mentions. Thank you guys for watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe. We're so close to 4,000, and which is just crazy, and we appreciate it so much. Thank you for watching, everybody. Stay swanky.